All right, I think I'm back. Let me see. Is anybody still here then? Or did we get totally disconnected? Usually it's got like 30 seconds worth of disconnect protection. Hopefully I'm not frozen now. Try again. So I think our friend was having issues. They're on Discord, possibly with their VPN. I've never seen that before. But Twitch wasn't registering any of their chats, so it's probably blocking something with their VPN. I don't know. That's very interesting. So I've got Discord chat open as well. If you want to just chat me there, I can keep an eye on Discord. I think I can do both, and it should be okay. So you folks still around, or did I lose you all? Let me see. Who's in chat here? Yeah, okay. I think you're still around then. Cool. All right. Sorry about that. And everything's refreshed and working okay, I think. I go grab GitHub here, and we can go commit this project 1 here. I think we've hit all the things on the list, right, for our operations for transaction line item. That sound pretty good? So I think I want to do one more thing actually real quick before we do that. I want to change this index page here. I'm going to make a copy of it here and paste it. And I'm going to call this one item. And I want to use this as the item page, not the actual index page here. So I want to change index here to not do any of this. I just want this to like include the header. Include, what is it, header. My goodness, where do we? It's in, come on, where's the header? Oh, that's in my view, that's why. So I just want to include a view. I don't even really have anything there, that should be fine. Slash views slash header.php. And then maybe we can include, I don't know, that'll have the nav and then the footer. I don't think we need really a whole lot else. And then all of our stuff here then in item needs to send to the item page, not the index page, when it does headering. So we'll header to item.php instead of the main page here. And we should be in better shape here. Let me look up header, item, what's the other one here? Item. Okay, we just have the two there. And then all the items in the form then for our item view, or the item list page here, should be sending to the item page, not the index page. Item PHP, item PHP, item PHP. I just want to make this a little cleaner so we have one clean controller for all of them here. And then we don't need the add transaction and line item anymore either. We can get rid of those finally, which would be nice. Okay, so hopefully that'll clean it up a little bit here. Let's take a look at our project and see if it's just a nice clean index page. Yep, welcome to our awesome item shop. Go to items. Uh-oh, items. Oh, the link was wrong. Oops, in our header. Goodness. Header here then should be item.php or item PHP, right? And then maybe we'll just have like a home as an index.php. I'll just say home or something. I mean, home's a really boring page. It's not interesting at all, but that way we can add it in the nav. Now we have home, we have item. Did I not update it? I did. Okay, good. Item PHP, customer PHP, transaction PHP, line item PHP, and then make sure the item stuff still works here, right? Let's go add another. So let's search for coffee. All right, we can search for coffee. We can add or update an item. Let's go add, let's just search for everything again. Let's add item SKU7. How about a name of, this is decaf coffee, which is gross. No one wants this. One and like $100 because no one should ever buy this. Okay, that works. So let's go update it then. Decaf coffee. We'll say we have, I don't know, 0 of them left and they're free because we just want to give these things, zeros were probably actually no good. So well, let's do like a penny, 0.01 for the price. We'll just give this stuff away basically for free. And then we'll go delete the decaf coffee because no one wants decaf coffee. And just make sure all those work. Okay, so we're going to work through all of those. So I think we're in good shape then in terms of all of our items here. How's that feel? Did the project go okay for you folks? I know a couple people had some last minute issues, but I think we got everyone straightened out, so feeling pretty good about that. Let's make sure everything's saved. Yeah, save all is good. So it's a bunch of PHP files, right? We have a lot of stuff going on here with all the different views, all the different models, all the different controllers. There's a lot to it. I kind of want to rename these things too. Can I rename these? Rename. It's not going to do it safely though. I want to call them views instead of lists, because that's the main item view instead of the item list. It's not just a list, but that's okay. We'll be fine with it. All right, let's see if GitHub works. Nope, GitHub is not wanting to cooperate. Let's try that again then. Down, restart it. I think that means we should be taking a today too then, right? Still to talk about arrays, about objects, and oh my goodness, this was the last thing on the agenda for today. What's the title? I put it in the title, didn't I? What is title? Twitch API return an error? Come on. Come on, Nightbot. Work. Work with me. Give me a response. Title. Oh, come on. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We can go back. It was arrays, it was objects, and my friends, I cannot remember for the life of me. Functions. That's right. We've already basically done functions. So functions are not all that interesting. So essentially arrays and objects. There's a little bit more with functions we could talk about, but not too bad. We'll do a lab. Oh, we have the lab from forms due tonight too. Goodness. I forgot we were doubled up there from the forms lab. Did you want to see the forms lab before we start the new stuff? I'm starting to lose a little bit of internet too. It looks like it's dropping a little bit on me. Hopefully it stays pretty stable. What do you folks want to do? You do the lab? You want to do the new stuff? Do the lab? Talk about the next lab? We probably do the new stuff first. I'm up for either. Wouldn't mind doing what next week? Doing the new stuff next week? All right, 29 group, you think the new stuff? Oh, we can move on to the new stuff. That's fine. Let me grab all of this, bring it over here. I gotta keep Discord showing too, my goodness. Things to keep open. That's all right, we'll make it work. We'll make this work. Okay. And so let's look at, so we've basically done arrays already with some of the things. Oh, finally got GitHub here. That's right, that's what we were waiting on. When we were working on the data, we're using all of those arrays where we can get values out by name. A general basic array, you get stuff out by index. So index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, like you've seen. So maybe pull up here. This is chapter 11, all of the stuff here. So here's the project 1. Commit and push this. No, that was the wrong one. Sorry. So to create an array, there we go, let's push. And that one should be happy. We use this array notation. So I actually use the word array, it's really handy. And then we can set values in it, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, let me close it down. So start up a new project here. Oops, no. Don't undo the rename. New project. Let's do a PHP project. PHP application. Let's look at our GitHub directory. No, that's not even the right directory. 2454 winter 2022 slash, what is this, week 6 or something? We'll just bump this all week 6. Is that all right? Call this week 6. Go next. Yes, we want to copy to 5080 or use port 5080. Copy to htdocs. We'll call this week 6. All right, here we go. And we close everything but this one here. So close all other tabs. And we can kind of shrink this project. We'll come back to the store project in a little bit here. We're going to keep working on that one as we go later. But want to start with some of this array code here. So what you can do to create an array then, we can say these will be, I don't know, my lotto numbers is equal to an array of, and then I give it some values, like 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Creates an array of size 5 with indexes 1 through 4. And then I can echo my lotto numbers at index of 0, right, is the first item. Right, arrays always start at index 0. This hopefully is nothing groundbreaking and new here. And we can get all of our values here. Again, not super exciting here, but we can do all that. 1, 4, and 5, or we could loop through them as well. Hey, thanks for following along. Glad to have you here. Right, and this will just smush them all together, getting each individual value out. Oops, here's the window here. I had it on the wrong page. Now, they're all just stuck together. It's not great here. So that's not the nicest thing to look at. So a little bit easier way to see what's inside of an array, you can use this print function. You can say print R, and you give it the lotto numbers. It'll print an array here. Just out to the screen, which is pretty handy. So if we give that one a refresh here, now we'll see, hey, this is the array itself. Now, this is not really a view you want to show users, but this is a handy view for us thinking of, well, what is inside of here? So this is the index here, and then the associated values. So indexes and then associated values. Kind of a funny way to go about it here, but that's okay. Just kind of gives you a nice little printed out here. So that's by getting things by index. Now, these are not like arrays in Java. So arrays in Java, once you size it, they're fixed in size. This is more like the array list in Java, if you're familiar with that, because you can resize it. So you can add new things to your lotto numbers here. So I can say lotto numbers, and instead of giving it an index, here, if you don't give it an index, we can go assign a new value, let's say equals 11. This will add a new value to it here. Right? So when we go run this one now and refresh our page, now we see it was 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. We added a new value. So you get some cool syntax of adding new values here. The other thing, though, you have to be a little bit careful here because they let you do things. So I can say lotto numbers index of, let's say, 10 is, I don't know, what is that going to be, 19 or something. So it'll go out to index 10, add a value 19 there. If there isn't already an index 10, it's going to go add all the way out to 10. So this will automatically add up to that index if it doesn't exist. So you want to be careful with some of your index notation here, where like usually, oh, sorry, I'm going to print it again. In Java land, it would yell at you, and you get like, hey, array index out of bounds exceptions. PHP is just going to let you do it. And it's going to say, oh, sure, that you must have really wanted to do that, so we'll let you do that. Do another print here, and now we get arrays index out here. Well, we have 5, and we have 10. Right? We have all of our values in here. It let me add it, right? But now I don't have anything at 6. I don't have anything at 7. Right? They're not there. So printing R is not going to print it if it's null. But I could just say, hey, let's echo out my lotto numbers at index 9 here. I'll probably add some BRs here too, right? So echo. These are a little bit ugly here. BR. And then append in there, maybe. I don't know if it'll let me do an append. We'll try it. Not Firefox, sorry. I was doing this in Edge. Could have done it in Firefox. Uh-oh. We get undefined array key 9. Doesn't exist. Right? There is no array key 9, so that value there is null, and we can't actually go use it. But we do have 10, right? Which is super weird. So they're a little bit trickier to use just because they're so flexible. It's great that they're flexible, and it gives you a lot of ability to do some fun things here. But it's, I don't know, it's a little funny here. So what you can do is, if you want to get rid of some of these things, and that's not always the case. So what's essentially happening with this array is it's giving you sort of this mapping type. So it's actually not even really like an array list. It's more like a dictionary. And I don't know if you guys have actually used dictionaries much in Java. So that's going to be a new idea. But there's a key and an associated value here. So I can take my Lotto numbers here, and I can say, hey, let's do index of A equals an A, just for fun. And then let's print our list here again. And then we see key of A is A. Well, that's not an index. Right? You don't actually have to use numeric values as indexes. So you don't really even have this concept of indexes here. Super weird. So they really are more like a dictionary than they are a basic array. Right? Other languages, they're mapping types, dictionaries. So it's going to act a little funny here. And that's why we're able to go get things out by name here rather than number when we worked with all those database values. Right? We said, hey, give me the item here, right, at some value. What is our like one of our views here? Like our customer list. We said, hey, give me the thing at index of, well, it's not really an index, it's key of ID, whatever value is associated with the key ID here. That's what we're doing here. So same idea here. So it doesn't even need to be indexes. Now it's going to default, when you go give it a bunch of values, it's going to default to indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? It'll use the numeric values by default. So really, it's not even an array list. It's more like a dictionary here. So you got some fun options we can do with that. Now, if you want to display all of the values in it here, right, we can go get the values back out. We need some sort of loop here for it, right? We want to go get all of our values out. So to get all of your values out, it's a little bit funny here. You really want to use it's like the last value. That's why some of the syntax when you guys were working with the oh my goodness, the checkboxes was really funny looking if you followed along with that, because it was a mapping type more than just a real array here. So one of the things you can do, you can get just the values out of an array if you want. You've got this option you can use, is it array values here. So we can say array values given my Lotto numbers here. And this will be my values here, is just the values associated, and then maybe we want to echo out values for fun. Let's go echo another BR in here too. Oops, not, yeah, it won't even convert to string. Shoot, that's right. My array won't convert to string here because that was just the values. But now we could do a little loop here. So we can say for values as value, you can echo the value and probably add another BR too every time, right? Why is it upset with me here? Values, oh, for each values as value. Right, we can echo those out if you want just the values in the array. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, right, 11, 19, and then A. And this is the order in which we get them out is a little funny, but essentially if we're adding to the end, it'll add to the end. When you add new items, it's going to add it to the end as well for new keys. You can also ask for the key of the array here. Right? These were our values that were associated. We could do the same thing with keys here. Let's get our let's do the keys first, and we'll do the values. We want the key. This will get out an individual, right, the index element of the current array position. Here, so we can get out just an individual item with a key of something here. But if we want to say, hey, does this key even exist? Is this item in the collection here? Do we have a key? Like, and remember, the keys are the first items here. So they're either the indexes here or they're the items on the left, not the associated value. So it gets, they get to be a little funny looping through them here. It's a little weird. So let's do this. Let's have we want, yeah. Here we go. So let's loop through and get both the keys and the value. Let's do that instead. So we'll say, now I'm going to say for each, and now I get in here, I'm going to have a array name. So this is my lotto numbers. And we're going to say as, now I get the key and the value. So I can have the key and the value in here. And then we can echo out, and we'll add a new line break. And then we can echo out the key and the value. So we'll echo key. I don't know, we can do our own arrows here too, right? The key and then the value. So if we want to loop through all of them here, what do we want, like a H2 or something? Keys and values for fun. So all the echoing HTML stuff is ugly, I'm sorry, but we'll have a little fun with it here. Uh-oh. I didn't get them out. I did it wrong here. Sorry. What did I do? Where's my value here? Key and value. As key value, yeah. From lotto numbers. I broke it. I like this the one here. That's not right. Getting a bunch of the new lines. It's not giving me the associated values there. Oh goodness. Sorry, that should have worked. Give me a second. The key and the value, right? The key. Oh, that's the wrong symbol there. That's why. And I do the wrong symbol, it gets upset. There, now we get all those values out. So key of 0 is a value of 1. Key of 1, value of 3, right? So on and so on and so on. So you can get them out in that loop as well. You can get both values out if you want, or you can get just the values out. You can also remove individual things. So all sorts of fun things you can do with arrays. And they're not exactly arrays. So it's a little confusing that we call them arrays. They're really this associated type here. And you can have some other specific types, some queues and stacks. We don't really care too much about the specific data structures. If it's all numeric values, you can sum them, which is kind of a fun built-in function. Yeah, if we want to do, if the value is in the array or if the key exists. So the two different checks here then, right? You can look up a key. Remember, the key is the value on the left. This is what we're associating value with. Or you can look up a value, the associated value. This is the I don't know what the key on the left. I don't know if that makes any sense. What we put in the square braces here. Trying to think of a better way to describe that, sorry. So you can say array key exists. You can say if array key exists, given what value do I want to look up? Well, let's see, is there a key of 10? If there is, then we can echo key of 10 exists. Right? Or if we want to look up a value here, we can say, hey, if, now this one is in array. In array is going to look up my, I like the suggestion there was the needle in the haystack. Did you see that? When you start typing in array, it gives you, hey, here's the needle and here's the haystack. Well, what value do I want to find? Well, I want to find, does the associated value of 10 exist in that array? We'll echo the value 10 exists. Now, there shouldn't be a value of 10, right? But we should have a key of 10. Let me give this one a run. So key of 10 exists, but there is no value of 10. Right? These are the values, but we looked up an associated key here. So you got to be a little careful with those. Not too concerned. Let's see. Yeah, you can count things. That's fine. You can sort arrays, which is fun, depending on given sorts. All sorts of cool things with arrays there. The deck of cards is fun. You can make an array with those suits. You can make an array with faces, and then you can loop through and get a bunch of fun cards out. Now, if you want to give them 5 cards, I like that. Let's steal this here from the example, because why not? This is fun. Where can we get this one here? Oh, so close, so close. There we go. Let's see if this one works for us here. We're going to steal this from Mr. Maroc here. Maroc chapter 11. See if that organizes for us. So we're going to say, hey, let's make a faces array. This is all the faces of cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. It's weird as a T for 10, but I think they wanted single digits or single characters. And then hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. And we'll make a cards array. We're going to say, okay, for every face and for every suit, like a little for each here, we'll take the cards and add a new value of face appended to the suit. So 2 of hearts, right? So for every face first, then we'll go for every suit. So we'll add a 2 of hearts, we'll add a 2 of diamonds, we'll add a 2 of clubs, we'll add a 2 of spades. And then we'll go shuffle. Shuffle's going to go mix up the array for us. And we'll make a hand array, and we'll go add 5 cards using this array pop, takes a value out of the array, adds it here, and then implode is going to kind of take this hand and organize it nicely, so it's going to print it a little bit nicer for us here. Let's give that a shot and see if we can get a nice hand of cards out. So we got a 10 of hearts, we got a 9 of clubs. We should have added a BR here, shouldn't we have? We'll do some more BRs. There we go. And every time I get it, right, I should get a different hand, because it's shuffling every time. Right? Queen of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, 7 of clubs, Queen of spades, 6 of diamonds, and so on and so on and so on. So I can work with all those values in here really nicely. You can also have an array of arrays. A 2-dimensional array starts to get crazy here, but that's when we return results from the database. That was a 2-dimensional array. Right? It had a bunch of rows, and each of those rows was another array here. So that worked out really nice using an array of arrays. All right, I think that's good for arrays. Again, hopefully mostly review. I know they're not really arrays, they're more like a dictionary, and that might be a new concept, looking at keys and associated values. So the problem with that is, right, you can only have one value associated with a given key, but if you think of them as like index values, then that makes a lot of sense, right? You can only assign one value to index 3. So it's kind of an interesting way of storing data with a lot of fun. Oh, excuse me. Is that too much? Is that okay? Not too bad? Let's drink some coffee for a second. I'm still wired. You folks holding up? All right, so why don't we, you know what, we've got still, yeah, out of RAM. I feel that, Amir. I feel that. Let's see. Let's go look at our schedule here again real quick. Grab this one here. Come on, page. Where'd my tab go? I lost it. This one. Nope. Where'd it go? Come back. Come back. Come back. Lost it. Close my log here. I had the window. Where'd it go? That one. All right, come on, Alt-Tab. Don't fail me now, Alt-Tab. You failed me. Oh, okay, it was just real shrunk down to the bad place here. So here's our expected plan. So we have the midterm next week. We haven't really gotten to function. I mean, we've essentially done functions. There's a little bit more out of chapter 13 we might talk about, and then objects is 14. So it's getting late. I think we could call it a night tonight, and we'll do a lab on arrays, some practice with arrays here, and then we can save functions and objects for March 10th, because there's not a whole lot here from PHP, and then the Java side of things is really just installing tools. So that'll also go pretty quick. So I think we can push off functions and objects until after midwinter break to wrap up the PHP then that night, and then just install the tools is pretty quick here. Project 2 will be our last PHP project. We won't get to a JSP project until project number 3 here, after we've had a little bit to actually talk about JSP and understand what it's doing behind the scenes and all that good stuff here. Does that sound like a plan? So then the midterm is only going to get through arrays. Then we won't do objects, we've basically done functions, but we won't do any of the advanced function stuff. So we'll do one last quiz on chapter 11, and then those quizzes then will make up half of the midterm, and then the other half will be the questions. And I think we had that midterm review out here, right? I think we did that one already, or did we not? We still need to talk about that if we haven't. No, I don't. Okay, shoot. Let me go add another topic here. I'm sorry. Hey, Thrax. We're midway through the course, but you can check out oaklandcc.edu if you're interested. I'm just streaming my courses here because I am not a fan of Zoom. Let's add a new module. Let's do midterm review. We'll just call it midterm, and then I'll put the review in here. Make a new page. Oh, definitely. I should add a night bot for that. I think not. Come on, don't I have? Not in here, do I? I have to find my night bot commands. We'll do that later. So this is our midterm review. We'll do this and then talk about the lab. We'll call it a night, okay? So midterm opens, that'll be next week, so that's 2/24 at 6 p.m. And is due by, that is March, is that the 3rd, the 2nd? Oh my goodness, I don't even know what the date anymore. Where did syllabus go? I lost it, I lost the syllabus. Let me bring it back here. I'll go bring it back. Not the dates. I'm so bad at dates, friends. This is why I keep it all. Okay, nothing else new in Discord. Good so far. Yeah, March 3rd. Okay, March 3rd is after that at 6 p.m. So you should be able to get it done on the 24th and actually have midwinter recess. But if you'd like to take your time on it, you're welcome to you do you, right? You whatever is going to work best for you here. It will cover PHP chapters 1 through 7 and 11, right? Because we've gotten through, I should actually pull this down here, another tab here again. Right? We've gone through this so far. Nope, and you don't even have to do it in one sitting for sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 11 then is arrays. Okay, so it is untimed. Start, stop as you please. As long as it's in by the due date, we're good. Okay, it's open book, open notes, open internet, but you shouldn't need to Google. Right, but not open neighbor or internet stranger. Okay, you can't go ask somebody else, but you're welcome to go find existing things out there. Again, you probably shouldn't need to. It's all going to come from the quizzes. Half of it's the quizzes out of the textbook. There's a quiz due tonight. Yeah, the chapters 7, 8, and 9 quiz, I believe, is due tonight. Yeah, we've got that one due tonight. Yeah, 5, 6, and 7, sorry. 5, 6, and 7 quiz is due tonight. So I'll have the quiz from chapter 11 as well tonight. We'll save 13 and 14 later. Half of it, so it'll be 15 quiz questions. from the chapters. Literally the same question banks. So it's possible you'll get the same question. There's a lot in there, so it's unlikely. And then 3 long answer programming questions. Okay. So those are 5 points each. 5 points each. This is 1 point each. 1 point. I can spell the word point, right? And instead of PTS, 5 points each. That's not too bad to spell. Okay. So open up. Start, stop, come back to it, whatever you want. Ideally, you're done. So when I write them, I aim for you folks to be able to get them done in 2 hours, so that if you do need double the time, you can get it done in a 4-hour sitting, as if we were in real life here. So like 15 questions, like 2 minutes each or so. That's like half an hour, and then 3 questions at half an hour each, which is I think way longer than they would take. But I want to make sure that I've allocated enough time, because not everyone types the way I type, and that's okay. Well, yeah, so I mean, ideally it's done this night, and you're just done and over with it. If you'd like to, take the rest of the week, you're welcome to get it anytime before 3:3. If you want 3:10, I could do 3:10, but then I feel like people are just going to wait until the week after break to actually take it, and then you're not actually getting a break because like there's this test hanging over your head. My thought was if you could like get it done, you could actually have a break, because we're not going to have any assignments. I was going to have a lab due before next week as well. Either's up to you. I suppose I'll let you make that choice if you want. We can make it 3:10. That's fine. I'll do the same with the lab too then, if you want. So if you get it done, great. You can actually take your break. If you want to wait, then wait for it. It's not going to hurt me at all to leave it open another week. So I'm fine with that. Yep, and then so let me go grab last semester's exam here. This is 2454 over the fall. There we go. Let me put it in the other tab real quick, just in case. I don't know what stuff is all shown here. Quizzes. And let me go find the midterm. Open that one up. Sorry, you can't see this. I'm doing it on the other screen here just so I don't show anything the wrong way. All right, cool. Yeah, this should be fine. Here. So here's the midterm from last semester. The first point, you get a free point on it for acknowledging and saying agree to the academic integrity policy once again. Unfortunately, I do need to ask this again. And there's actually been some research done that if I ask folks to agree to abide by the policy before they start, they're less likely to cheat. And even less likely than if you were to add this at the end of an exam and say, oh, by the way, all the work I did was my own. They've actually done some research on this, which is super interesting. So free point just for agreeing to the policy, and then 15 quiz-style questions in here. And if they're fill in the blank, I'm going to go grade them all manually. The quizzes auto-grade because that way you can get your results right away. You don't have to wait for me to go grade it manually. Maybe I should just go grade them all manually anyway, but I like that you could get your score right away. I don't know. All right, and then a table like this, or a question, I'm sorry. So assuming there's a table drink with fields for ID, name, caffeine, and milligrams, write a PHP snippet that displays each drink in a drink result table. Sorry, that should have been drinks plural. You don't have to actually write the SQL portion, just assume you already have something like a list drinks function that returns it as a drinks result. So here's one sample question here. So how would you write the little for each loop that displays all this in a nice little table? So let's go back to, nope, not that one. Too many tabs open. I'm sorry. This one here. Example question. Right, table drink. Each drink and the drink result in a table. You'll have this drinks result. So you already have this item called drinks. You just do a for each loop over drinks, like for each drinks as drink, and then display the results in your little table. Okay. So specifically in the HTML table here. So you need the table header, you need the table rows, table data, that sort of thing here. Okay, so that's one question. 5 points for that one. Another one, write a PHP. So we've gotten to Java previously, so this will just be a PHP function here. Write a PHP function called factorial of odds through n that accepts an argument for n, returns the factorial value of all odd numbers from 1 to n, including n, if n is odd. For example, factorial of odds through 10 would calculate 1 times 3 times 5 times 7 times 9 and return 945. Right? Just write a function, accept a value, and do something with it. Some little math thing here. The math part's not the interesting part here. It's like, hey, am I going to get particularly filter out the odd numbers here, add, multiply them all together, return the result? That's another example question. Okay, so you got a question about, hey, pretend you get some database result, show me a table. You got a question about writing a function here. Oops, that was the wrong there. And then, let's see, does this last one even match here? Because we haven't got that far. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we don't have the servlet. We haven't got to the servlet yet. That's okay. That's okay. This is write a PHP function, Fibonacci numbers, that gets the nth Fibonacci number parameter from the, we'll call it the get request, and returns a string value of all Fibonacci numbers through the nth value. Fibonacci numbers start with 1, and then each next value is the sum of the previous two values. So Fibonacci numbers of 7 would calculate 7 Fibonacci. I can't spell calculate. That's twice in a row. Fibonacci numbers, return them as a string, like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. So another function here, this one is getting some values out of the get request. Right? This was the function that takes an argument. This one is getting some values out of a get or post here. Right? Maybe post here. And you'll do something with it. So this Fibonacci thing, this was, the math part was not all that important, but being able to say, okay, so it's the sum of the previous two, so 1 and 1, and then what's the sum of the previous two? Well, that's 2, right? And then what's the sum of the previous two? Well, that's 2 and 1. What's the sum of the next two? That's 2 and 3 becomes 5. 5 and 3 becomes 8. 8 and 5 become 13. So managing to do something like this in a loop and then return it all as a string result. Here, so those are the example questions. So 3 questions. And not super crazy. I mean, they're not the quickest thing here. They take a little bit of thought, but just demonstrating you can work with these sorts of things. So this one, let me change this one around here. So instead of a string, let's say an array of all the Fibonacci numbers. Returns an array with values. Okay, that way we'll work with the arrays here. So I like that. So we'll have one question about functions, one question about arrays, and one question about, hey, let's pretend there's some database stuff here. You could actually go and write your own array for this sort of thing here, if you wanted to test it yourself, right? You could make an array with a 2-dimensional array, right, with a bunch of rows, each row having an entry with a key of ID, key of name, key of caffeine in milligrams. So one of the things that this that the chapter looks at, if you go finish looking through it here, is how you can make your own 2-dimensional arrays. They're not the worst thing in the world. They're not too bad here. Does that make sense? How you folks feeling so far? Oh, I'm dropping frames here like crazy. Uh-oh. All right, and I tell you what, let's actually use both of these here for fun as our lab exercise, because I know you guys can't wait for the next lab here. You're super excited. So let me save this. Here's our review. And for our next lab, let me go add a new GitHub link. Classroom, github.com. That's not what I wanted. Let's go to assignments. Go to 2454. This will be lab 4. CIS 2454, winter 2022, lab 4. So let's do a new lab. We want the Java template. Community? No, I can't spell. Community. Oh my goodness. Community. // that's what it was. // I feel like it should have known backslashes versus // but what do I know? We'll grab the link here. This is, what do we just say, lab 4, right? Lab 4. Lab 4, this is arrays. We do, so it's after break if you want, that's fine. No problem here. Again, if you get it done early, good. If you don't, that's okay. Totally up to you. Let's make a new lab 4 grade. Put this in the labs category with a text submission. Here's the link. You submit the feedback pull request URL. And then let's do the thing. Where'd it go here? Let's go back to our content section. Scroll, please. Scroll. Let's go to the midterm and let's do those 2 questions. So we'll actually build the 2-dimensional array so that you can test this function here. And then we'll do the Fibonacci array as well. We'll just practice adding some values to the array. Okay, there's that one. So we're going to create a 2-dimensional array with rows that have keys of ID, name, and caffeine in milligrams to test our table display. Right, and then also, do you want to do the Fibonacci one? That's worth your time, right? That's interesting enough to do a Fibonacci one? I think so. What do you think? Want to do both? So 2 different functions, right? Fibonacci numbers and this way of displaying our table for drinks here. Okay, that sound good? So that's what we'll do for lab here. Again, if you want to get it done beforehand, I'll be happy to get that one scored for you before you do the midterm. Should have enough time to get that one done tonight. If you want to work on it now and wait till later, that's fine. I'm sorry I'm behind on the grading stuff here. I'm finally getting back to feeling normal again with copious amounts of coffee. So I'll for sure have these done for you before you take before next week when the midterm opens. Okay, so we got the lab. If you get it done before the midterm, great. If you want to wait until after, oh, this is even after break. I'm sorry. So that is due. My goodness. So yeah, okay. So this one should be due next week. I'm sorry, because next week is the start of the midterm. That's right. That's right. I'm all backwards here. Okay, so let's do that. So this will be due. I'm sorry. The 24th, which is when the midterm opens, so that we'll have done the practice. I can get this one scored for you. You can start the midterm, get the midterm in by the 10th when we come back from midwinter break. Goodness. All right, does that sound like a plan? I think I lost you folks. We're all out of RAM here. It's been a night. It's been a night, friends. Okay. All right, so I'll go put out that midterm too, just so you can see it in the calendar. Oh, we got to do the chapter 11 quiz too. We do the chapter 11 quiz. I'll post that one in a minute. So I'll post all that after the stream's done. Is that okay? Probably don't need to hang around for that. All right, any other thoughts, questions, concerns, irritations? What else is on your mind? What can I do for you? You let me know if there's anything else we need. If not, we'll pass a raid off to someone for fun. It's always fun to go visit friends in Twitchland, say hi, and then we'll call it a night. Okay, we can work in the lab or just go enjoy shoveling. Whatever we got to do for tomorrow, we go from there. What should we go do here? What do we want to check out? We got lots of friends. The 425 shows looking at .NET 7 Preview 1, if you want to see some .NET stuff. I got a friend who's a game designer by trade. She streams games, though, but that's fine. We've got a friend, a former student who took this class last semester, maybe even 2 ago. who's streaming Apex. If you want to go hang out there, that might be fun. Yeah, message me on Discord. Definitely dented. We'll take a look from there. You go see our friend, former student here. How do we do that? That'll be fun here. That's always a good time. I'll go say hi. Okay? All right, folks, you take care, and I will see you around. Come on, ready command, let's work here. Maybe that'll go. Yep, sounds good. I will head over there in just a second. Everybody say hi. Tell him you're having lots of fun in PHP. He might laugh at you, but that's okay. And you folks take care, all right? See you later.